Hi everyone, this is my new video course on Introduction to Algorithms for Computer Science students. This is the most important topic for the computer science and the algorithms which are the basic steps for building a program. It is the main important step in computer science. And coming to the first video session, I would like to discuss the introduction part and algorithm design paradigms and the concept of algorithmic efficiency, runtime analysis of the algorithms, and the next video session we will discuss about asymptotic notations. What is an algorithm? An algorithm is a set of well-defined instructions in sequence to solve a problem. For example, we take an algorithm to find a sum. Before building a program, there is a step-by-step procedure which we have to follow. First, before starting a program we have to start it, and which numbers we have to take, we have to declare them, and in which element we have to store the sum, we have to take that one, and what values we have to take. So we have to read the variables which we are going to take and performing the operation and transferring the output into the element which we have been declared, and display that nothing but a print operation and stop the program. For example, if we take an algorithm to coming to home, we have so many ways to coming to a home, but we take a shortest path to come to our home. That is nothing but a minimum distance to come to our home. Similarly, an algorithm also plays an important role to find the shortest way to find the solution to every program in the computer. For example, the Google built the Google Maps app by using the shortest path. When you want to go to some destination, the Google easily calculates the distance and says to you which is the shortest path by using the algorithm method, which is nothing but a shortest path problem. And introduction, algorithm design paradigms. Paradigm is nothing but a pattern or a technique, general approaches to construction of efficient solutions to problems. There are some list of paradigms. There are many solutions for a given problem, but there are some efficient solutions to a problem which is inside a computer. For example, there are three types of paradigms. One is general, second one is parameterized complexity, and third one is computational geometry. Coming to the BTech level, the general algorithm paradigms are enough. While coming to the higher education, parameterized complexity and computational geometry are important. In this tutorial session, I would like to discuss only on the topics of general, which are backtracking, branch and bound, brute force search, divide and conquer, dynamic programming, greedy algorithm, prune and search methods. Coming to the next one, which is algorithmic efficiency. There are several methods, I said that, to find a solution to a problem. So, which is an efficient method to find the solution is known as an algorithmic efficiency, and this algorithmic efficiency is calculated by using the time efficiency and the space efficiency. Okay, what is an algorithmic efficiency? It is a property of an algorithm which relates to the number of computational resources used by an algorithm. There are various resources, but it uses only a particular resource which provides an efficient solution to the given problem, and it is measured by the amount of runtime, and this is proportional to the number of operations. As the number of operations increases, the runtime also increases, but it takes the solution which takes the runtime which is a minimal. The time efficiency, a measure of amount of time for an algorithm to execute. So what is the time efficiency? And measure of amount of time for an algorithm to execute. To execute a program, it takes some time. Okay, we will take the best time of different solutions among the different solutions. We take a best time among the different solutions, which is takes a less time to execute. Analyze the algorithm typically using time complexity analysis to get an estimate of running time as a function of size of input data. The result is normally expressed using a big O notation. In the next video I will discuss what is about a big O notation, and there are different types of time notations, but for measuring time efficiency we use big O notation. And coming to the space efficiency, the amount of memory required to execute a program is known as the space efficiency. Okay, there are many methods to solve a problem and get the solution, but the algorithm takes the best solution which conserves the space less. So that conserved space less part is taken as the space efficient part, and it is used in the algorithm. Okay, there are 4 aspects of the memory usage to consider. The amount of memory needed to hold the code for the algorithm. Okay, the amount of memory, how much of memory is required for executing that program to hold that code for the algorithm, and the amount of memory needed for the input data. You are giving some input, so how much of data is conserved by the algorithm, that is the main part in the space efficiency. And the amount of memory needed for any output. When you are getting the output, it may be a single line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, or many lines of output. So how much of memory needed for the output data? Some algorithms such as sorting often rearrange the input data and don't need any additional space for the output data. So while measuring the space efficiency, some algorithms doesn't require the output data. So by using these 4 aspects, we can find the best space efficiency algorithm. And the 4th one is the amount of memory needed as the working space during the calculation. When you are working, the amount of memory needed when you are working during the calculation of the program. Coming to the next one, running time analysis. This running time analysis is used to find the amount of time conserved by the program. That is, it is of 3 types: best case, worst case, and average case. The best case is that when the program will take the less time to execute, and average is more than the best case time, and worst case is the more time to execute. And in this session we will discuss about how the time is measured. The running time analysis. The fastest possible running time for any algorithm is order of 1. For any program to execute, it requires some time. So one of the best way to execute the data in the less time is order of 1, where the computer executes in the time period of 1, and commonly referred it as a constant running time. In case the algorithm always takes the same amount of time to execute regardless of the input size. And in some cases, the performance of an algorithm depends on n value. If you take sum of n numbers, it takes order of n square. That is size of input, or the number of operations required for each input item. For example, if we take here an logarithmic algorithm, it takes an order of log n, which is nothing but a binary search algorithm, and a linear search requires only order of n, And superlinear algorithm requires only order of n log n, which are examples are heap sort and merge sort. And polynomial algorithm, which takes n to the power of c. C is nothing but a constant. It may be n square, n cube, n to the power of 4 or n. For examples are Stassen's multiplications, bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, bucket sort. And exponential algorithm, which is order of c to the power of n, that means 2 to the power of n or 3 to the power of n, some constant value to the power of n, for example towers of Hanoi. And factorial algorithm, which takes order of n factorial. Here there are some examples for ideal algorithm and logarithmic algorithm, linear algorithm and sublinear algorithm. And the algorithms can be classified as following best to worst performances, running time, complexity. The algorithms whose time limit is log n, those are considered as logarithmic algorithms. The linear algorithm whose time complexity is order of n, and the algorithms whose time complexity is n log n, those are superlinear algorithms. And the algorithms whose order is n to the power of c, those are polynomial algorithms. And the algorithms whose time complexity is order of c to the power of n, those are considered as exponential algorithms. And the time complexity whose algorithm is order of n factorial, those are considered as factorial algorithms. And here there is a small graph which shows the algorithmic timings from low to high. Here the order of 1, which is the best case, that is on x-axis, it is represented on x-axis, order of 1. And the good case, which is order of log n, which is more than order of 1. And order of n, which is more than order of log n. And order of n log n, which is bad case. And the worst case are order of n factorial, order of c to the power of n, and order of n to the power of c. So I think so you have understood the topics I have been explained to you. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and I will make more videos on algorithms and the subjects which are related to computer science.